As we have learned about Python strings in our previous lesson, where we explored how to manipulate and format text, now we are going to learn about Python lists. Lists are one of the most powerful and commonly used data structures in Python. They allow us to store multiple items in a single variable, modify them, and perform various operations efficiently. Let's dive in. As we have seen that strings are immutable, meaning they cannot be changed after creation, now we are moving to lists, which are different. A list in Python is a collection of items stored in a particular order. Unlike strings, lists are mutable, meaning we can modify them. Lists are created using square brackets, and can hold different types of data, including numbers, strings, and even other lists. In the last slide, we learned that lists can hold multiple data types. Now, let's see how to create and access lists. To create a list, we use square brackets and separate elements with commas. We can access elements using indexing, where the first element is at index 0, and negative indexing allows us to count from the end. As we have seen how to access single elements using indexing, now let's learn about slicing. Slicing allows us to extract multiple elements from a list using a range of indices. We can specify start, stop, and step values to control the extraction. This is useful when we need a subset of a list. Now that we know how to access and slice lists, let's move to modifying them. Since lists are mutable, we can add and remove elements. The .append method adds an element at the end, while .insert lets us insert at a specific position. To remove elements, we can use .remove or .pop, which removes the last element by default. As we have learned how to modify lists, let's now see how to iterate through them. One of the most common ways is using a for loop, which goes through each element one by one. This is helpful when processing large amounts of data stored in lists. After learning how to iterate through lists, let's now explore sorting and reversing them. The .sort method arranges elements in ascending order by default, and .reverse flips the order of elements. These are useful for organizing data. As we have learned different operations on lists, now let's look at a more efficient way of creating lists using list comprehension. This allows us to generate lists in a single line using a concise syntax. It is particularly useful for transforming data quickly. As we wrap up this lesson, let's compare lists with other Python data structures like tuples and sets. Lists are ordered and mutable, while tuples are ordered but immutable. Sets are unordered and do not allow duplicates. Choosing the right data structure depends on the use case. As we conclude this lesson on Python lists, let's summarize what we've learned. We explored how lists store multiple elements in an ordered structure and can hold different data types. We saw that lists are mutable, allowing us to modify elements using different methods like append, insert, and remove. We also learned list slicing, iteration, and efficient list creation using list comprehension. To master lists, I recommend practicing different list operations. Try working with lists of numbers, strings, and even nested lists to get comfortable.
For more videos, please visit the channel and go to respective playlist. And please subscribe the channel for better more content, and to encourage us, please like the video.